Hello, everyone! It's me, Joy, along with my friends Anxiety, Anger, and Disgust. Today, our boy Tim is going to take on the exciting mode called Disgust Barry's Prison Run. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that Tim can get out of here safely.
What? Disgust! Why did you lock us up in this prison? Why did you lock Tim up? This could be really dangerous.
What? Disgust? Are you kidding me? This is your doing? I'm furious! Why would you do this?
Guys, believe me, I really have nothing to do with this. Maybe it's just a poor imitation of me. I would never do something so disgusting to Tim.
Guys, let's not fight. We're a team, we should stay positive. Besides, look around, it's actually quite fascinating and interesting in here
And very dangerous. Every room here feels like a nightmare to me.
Oh, wow! Look! Do you see that figure up ahead? It looks just like disgust. How is that even possible? This is infuriating. I'm boiling with anger. How dare they?
We need to find a way out of here. Hey, look over there. Ventilation. If we can reach it, we might be able to escape.
Ugh! Why is it always ventilation? It's so dirty and cramped. But fine, if this is our only way out, we'll have to crawl through it. But I'm protesting.
We're almost there. Just a little more and we'll be saved. It's so exciting, like being in a real movie. We'll make it and everything will be all right.
We did it! We escaped! Now he can't get us, but we need to keep moving to find the exit and finally put this nightmare behind us.
Oh, it stinks so badly here. It's really disgusting. I can't wait until we finally get to fresh air. I hope this path leads to something less revolting.
We're heading down. Tim, are you sure this is a good idea?
Don't worry, Anxiety. Tim always has everything under control. Just a little more and we'll be free. I'm confident about that.
Wow, where are we? What is this dungeon? Everything looks so bright and big. It feels strange.
And it also smells really bad. Oh God, when will we get out of this horrible prison? Subscribers, help us out! Please like and subscribe to our channel. It will give Tim the motivation to keep going if he sees that hundreds of people are rooting for him.
Oh no! This bridge is very dangerous. I'm really worried about our boy Tim. Please be careful, Tim. We always end up in risky situations.
The bridge is crossed. Everything's fine, Anxiety. No need to panic. Tim will handle it.
So here's another challenge ahead. It looks easy, but we need to be extremely careful. Oh no, what's that huge ball? It could crush us.
Tim, run faster. This is very dangerous. Don't get hit by the ball, please. Wait a minute. What are those on the walls? Are they memories? But where did they come from? What are they doing here?
Guys, I'm starting to get confused. The control panel at the beginning, the memories, the bright objects. Where are we even? Maybe Tim ended up in someone's head. Perhaps somewhere in a memory warehouse?
I don't know, but I'm really scared. A copy of Disgust is chasing us again. How many of them are there, and why does it look so much like our friend?
I'm about to erupt lava, I swear. I'm so angry. This is happening again. This place is full of mysteries we still can't solve.
Phew, it looks like we've escaped. She was so disgusting. I'm glad Tim got away from her. She looked terrible and smelled even worse. I hope we don't run into her again.
Guys, let's run up the stairs. See, everything's fine. We're safe for now. No need to panic or be scared.
How about we share a few interesting stories with our viewers while Tim finds his way out?
I think that's a great idea. It will help us distract ourselves from this nightmare and feel less scared. Everyone, give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to hear some stories from us.
Well, I think our viewers have already liked and subscribed. Tim was always looking for adventure, and here he found himself in an abandoned castle full of mysteries and secrets. He was thrilled to discover such a place, and each new discovery brought him more joy. Exploring the ancient corridors and investigating old objects was a real pleasure for him. I was happy with him, seeing his enthusiasm and excitement.
But with each step, I became more and more nervous. The castle was dark and abandoned, and the silence around us only intensified my fears. Every creak and rustle made me anxious, and I worried that Tim might run into something dangerous. My concerns grew as he explored dark corners and labyrinthine hallways. I was worried for his safety and was on the verge of panic.
When strange things started happening in the castle, I couldn't stay calm. Doors creaked, and sometimes it felt like someone was watching us. This was outrageous. Why did the old castle have to be so mystical and frightening? I was ready to fight these mysterious forces to protect Tim and ensure his safety. I couldn't stand by and watch the castle scare him.
Some parts of the castle were just disgusting. We encountered decaying furniture, moldy walls, and dust that was almost visible. The smell of mustiness and decay was terrible. These places were so dirty and unpleasant that I felt uncomfortable. The castle was not only scary but also extremely unpleasant to the senses.
Despite all the difficulties and fears, Tim continued to enjoy the adventure. He found an old diary that told the story of the castle's past and its inhabitants. This was a real treasure. Tim was thrilled with his discoveries and proud that he could uncover part of the history of this mysterious place. His joy and satisfaction were contagious, and even in the spooky atmosphere, he continued to find positive moments.
As events became more strange, I was on the verge of panic. Instead of the usual silence of the castle, we began to hear eerie sounds and creaks, and in some places, the air felt heavy and oppressive. I worried about Tim's safety and wanted him to get out of this scary place as soon as possible.
I was infuriated when Tim encountered the most frightening parts of the castle, full of creepy frescoes and symbols. Why did the old place have to be so horrible and uncomfortable? I was outraged that the castle was trying to scare Tim and disrupt his adventure. This was unfair and unacceptable. I wanted Tim to leave all these scary things behind and find a safe place.
When Tim finally got out of the darkest corners of the castle, I felt relieved. The castle was not only scary, but also an extremely unpleasant place. I was glad that all of this was behind us and hoped Tim would never encounter anything like it again.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim was thrilled with his discoveries and adventures. He was proud that he had overcome his fears and explored the abandoned castle. Coming home brought relief and joy. Tim told his friends about his impressions, and his eyes once again sparkled with happiness. This adventure became a unique and unforgettable experience for him. We were all glad that, despite all the fears and discomforts, he found joy and satisfaction in this unusual journey.
So guys, did you enjoy it? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really motivates us to take on new challenges.
The next story is about how we were emotions in the mind of an evil scientist. When we found ourselves in Dr. Green's mind, an evil scientist, I was consumed with righteous anger. He used his intellect to create things that could harm others. It infuriated me. How can one waste their talents on destruction when they could be creating something useful? I decided our task was to channel his energy into a more constructive direction.
We started by trying to spark an interest in him for things that could bring joy and benefit. Instead of dark experiments, we aimed to inspire him to focus on something positive. At one point, he even became interested in creating devices that could improve people's lives. That was a huge step forward. Every time he did something kind or useful, we rejoiced with him, and his mood gradually improved.
Of course, I was constantly worried that he might revert to his old habits. His dark thoughts and plans still occasionally surfaced, and I was anxious that he might become evil again. Whenever he delved into his grim schemes, I tried to redirect his attention to something brighter and more positive. It felt like we were walking on thin ice, and any misstep could ruin everything.
I was particularly disturbed by his experiments, which were often unethical and dangerous. I felt revulsion towards how he treated his subjects and the experiments themselves. We began pushing him to reconsider his methods and think about the consequences of his actions. Gradually, he started to understand that he could be beneficial rather than harmful. His approach to his work became more responsible and ethical.
Over time, we saw Dr. Green begin to change. He became more open, started participating in community projects, and helped other scientists. His work ceased to be dark and threatening. Instead, he focused on creating inventions that could improve people's lives and help the environment. This path was not easy, but eventually, he became a kind and respected scientist. We were thrilled to help him see the brighter side and find the strength for change.
Sometimes he still experienced bursts of anger, but now they were directed at fighting injustice and improving the world. He used his passion and energy to do good rather than evil. We saw him becoming happier and more satisfied with his work and life overall. It was a true miracle to see him transform from an evil scientist into a kind and caring person.
Hooray! Tim defeated the final boss and we finally escaped from the prison. We are free!
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.
Hey, look, Anxiety. We've landed in Inside Out 2, Joy Prison Run. It's a prison, but not just any prison. It's made especially for me. I never imagined seeing a prison filled with rainbows and balloons. Do you see these cells? They're practically glowing with happiness. This is going to be the most fun escape in history.
Wait a minute. A prison for Joy? How does that even work? Something feels off here. Maybe there are some strange traps hidden behind all these bright colors? And what are these chains that look like colorful ribbons? I'm not sure I want to find out how they work.
Well, if anything, those ribbons are so pretty that I wouldn't mind wearing them. Look, the first obstacle is a rainbow bridge we need to cross without falling into. Hey, is that a candy puddle? Whoever designed this prison clearly had a sweet tooth.
Joy, this is strange. Really strange. Usually puddles are made of water or something dangerous, but candy? What if we get stuck in it and can't move forward? Or worse, what if a giant lollipop attacks us? I can already imagine Barry from the previous mode disguised as a candy.
Well, if Barry turns into a lollipop, I definitely wouldn't mind. We'll just eat him and keep going. Come on, follow me. This bridge isn't that hard. Just don't get too distracted by the candy or you might lose your balance.
Are you serious? Easier said than done. This bridge looks like it could disappear at any moment, leaving us right in that sticky trap. And I'm pretty sure this bridge isn't as sturdy as it looks. How did we even end up here? I don't remember breaking any laws.
Maybe they locked us up for having too much joy. Who knows? By the way, up ahead is another challenge. A room with giant rolling balls. They move from side to side, and we need to dodge them so they don't hit us. It's like bowling, except the balls are colorful and shiny.
Balls? You mean we have to run so these giant balls don't knock us over? What if they're not just balls, but some kind of psychological attacks? Maybe they're trying to knock out all emotions except joy. And we're left with nothing but fear, for example.
Well, fear and joy aren't the worst combination, right? Okay, let's not dwell on the negatives. First, we dodge the balls, then cross the rainbows, and before you know it, we'll be out of here. I think it's simple. We keep moving forward and enjoy the process. Who knows? Maybe something amazing is waiting for us at the end.
Something amazing? I hope it's not a giant joy with a club. Okay, let's go, but if something goes wrong, I'm hiding behind the nearest rainbow. And if there are more traps, I'll just go back to our room, okay?
You know there's no turning back, right? But don't worry, I'm sure something awesome is waiting for us. After all, this is my level, so there can't be anything too scary. Come on, follow me. Hi there, it's me again, Joy. Today, I want to share an adventure that Anxiety and I had, which taught us something very important. We're so different, but that's exactly what makes us the best of friends. This time, our day started in a rather unusual way. Anxiety and I woke up early in the morning. I was full of energy and joy because we were going on a hike in the forest. The forest is my favorite place. There's so much beauty to discover. Sunbeams breaking through the tree canopies, birds singing, and the fresh scent of pine. I was sure it would be a day full of discoveries and fun.
As for me, well, let's just say that the hike made me a bit nervous. The forest was so big and mysterious, with so many unknowns hidden within it. What if we get lost? What if there are wild animals? Or if we encounter dangerous plants? These thoughts just wouldn't leave my mind. But Joy was so excited, I decided to go along with her, though deep down, I had my doubts.
As soon as we entered the forest, I felt a rush of happiness. Everything around us was so green and alive. We walked along the path, and I noticed everything. Butterflies fluttering around, flowers gently blooming in the clearing, and even cute squirrels peeking out from behind the trees. I laughed and said to Anxiety, "Look how beautiful it is here. Isn't it wonderful?"
But I noticed other things too. I saw how the branches of the trees were tightly intertwined, how the path was getting narrower and the forest darker. I couldn't shake the feeling that we might get lost. The further we went, the more my anxiety tightened its grip on my heart. I started thinking about what could happen if we took the wrong path. Joy, what if we can't find our way back? And what if it gets dark? I asked, trying to draw her attention to the possible dangers.
I stopped and looked at Anxiety. She looked really worried. I realized that her fears were not unfounded. After all, the forest was indeed vast and unfamiliar to us. I decided that we needed to be more careful and listen to her because she helps us avoid trouble. So I suggested, let's stick to the path and keep an eye on our surroundings. We're together, and I'm sure we can handle it.
Her words calmed me down a bit. We kept walking, and I tried to stay vigilant. We noticed the path leading deeper into the forest, and I suggested not going too far. Joy agreed, and we turned back. Despite my concerns, I started to notice that the forest wasn't as scary as it seemed, especially when you're with a friend.
Eventually, we found a wonderful clearing where we decided to have a small picnic. I brought some delicious fruits and juice, and we sat under a huge oak tree. The sun warmed us, and I felt all the worries start to fade away. Anxiety also relaxed a bit and began to enjoy the moment. We chatted, laughed, and were happy with how well everything had turned out.
I started to realize that I shouldn't let my fears take over completely. Yes, dangers exist, and they need to be considered, but sometimes it's worth trusting and just enjoying the moment. Joy helped me see that even in the scariest situations, there can be something good. The key is to find a balance between caution and enjoying life.
And I learned how important it is to listen to Anxiety. Her fears aren't always baseless, and sometimes they're what helps us avoid danger. Together we found harmony. I learned to be more attentive, and Anxiety learned to enjoy life.
So we returned from the forest, full of experiences and new knowledge. This day showed us that despite our differences, we make a great team. Joy helps me see the bright side of life, and I help us be cautious and prepared. Together, we can do anything.
And that's how, dear friends, even the most ordinary hike in the forest can turn into a real adventure when you have a true friend by your side, with whom you can share both joyful and anxious moments.
Good luck to everyone. Goodbye for now.
Wow, Anxiety. Look, we're in the game Escape from Evil Grandpa. What do you think we need to do here? Maybe Grandpa just wants some attention, and his anger is just a front. He's so funny with those big glasses and slippers. And look at how he runs. It's like a real race against time.
Evil Grandpa? Wait, do you really think he just wants attention? What if he's truly evil? What if this is his house full of old things that can trap us? What if he set traps around every corner? Or what if his glasses give him super sharp vision and he can see us even through walls?
Oh, come on. Why would Grandpa have traps in his own house? Look, here's the first challenge. A huge staircase covered with old rugs. I guess Grandpa isn't big on cleaning. Let's try to get through this obstacle before he hears our footsteps. If we can escape before he catches us, we can call it a win.
Rugs? You're talking about rugs like they're just simple obstacles? What if there are scary things hidden under them, like sticky traps or even mouse traps? One wrong step, and we could be stuck here forever. And what if Grandpa is wearing old headphones and listening to loud music? We won't be able to tell where he is.
Music? That makes it even more fun. Maybe he's listening to some old jazz, and we can dance our way through the house. Let's just imagine that this isn't an evil grandpa, but an evil jazz musician who's thrown a party. We've made it up the stairs, and there's a room full of furniture ahead. Chairs, dressers. Just make sure not to fall into Grandpa's rocking chair, or he'll definitely catch us.
Rocking chair! That's the perfect place for an ambush. It might start rocking on its own and trap us. And those dressers, they look like they could open at any moment and something terrible might jump out. Maybe we should just turn back and go back to the start. Being stuck in jail doesn't sound so bad compared to what might be waiting for us here.
Oh, come on. You know there's no turning back. Look, we're almost out. There's a door up ahead, and beyond it is the garden. I'm sure if we make it through, Grandpa won't catch us anymore. And look, there's even an old swing. Maybe we can take a little break if we make it out.
A break? Seriously? What if the garden is full of traps and the swing is just old and creaky, ready to collapse at any moment? And Grandpa is probably already out there, waiting for us around the corner with some super trap. We have to stay on our toes, Joy. We need to move quietly and quickly. And oh no, I think I hear his footsteps. Quick, to the door.
You heard footsteps? I thought it was just the old house creaking. All right, let's run to the door. And if Grandpa is waiting for us with a super trap, I'll try to distract him by talking about his favorite foods. Maybe he'll forget why he's chasing us, and we can just walk out peacefully.
I hope your plan works because honestly, I don't want to be caught by evil Grandpa. If we can convince him, maybe he'll even let us go and make us some tea. But we better just run as fast as we can and not look back. Hi there! Today, I want to tell you about how our friend Tim got a brand new phone. Oh, how happy I was for him. It was the long-awaited gift he had been dreaming of for months. As soon as Tim opened the box and saw his new phone, his eyes lit up, and his smile brightened everything around him. I was right there with him, feeling the joy filling his heart, and mine too. It was truly a celebration. But of course, I immediately started to worry. A new phone is great, I thought, but what if something happens to it? What if he drops it? What if it gets stolen? Or even worse, what if Tim spends too much time on his phone and forgets about everything else? These thoughts wouldn't leave me alone. I wanted Tim to enjoy his gift, but also to understand that he needed to be careful with it.
I ran over to Tim and started exploring all the features of the new phone with him. He was thrilled. We took a few photos, tried out new apps, and even recorded a funny video. Tim was on cloud 9. Look how much fun this is, I said to Anxiety, hoping she would also see the positive side of this gift.
But I couldn't just relax like that. I knew that with a new phone came a lot of responsibility. Tim, be careful, I told him. Don't forget to get a case and a screen protector. And don't spend all your time on your phone. There's so much more to life. I wanted to make sure Tim understood the importance of taking good care of his new device.
I understood that Anxiety was right. So I suggested to Tim that he create a daily schedule so he could enjoy his phone without forgetting about other things. We came up with the idea of using the phone for useful purposes, like learning new things, staying connected with friends, and taking creative photos. And of course, I suggested he spend some time outdoors every day to keep a healthy balance.
I felt a bit better seeing that Tim was really listening to my advice. He actually bought a case and a screen protector, which put my mind at ease. I was also glad that he wasn't forgetting about walks and meeting up with friends, even with his new phone. Joy helped him find that balance, and I felt that everything would be okay now.
And you know what? Anxiety and I saw that even with an exciting gift like a new phone, you can find a happy medium. Tim learned to use his phone wisely, without forgetting about real life, his friends, hobbies, and spending time outdoors. I could see that he was even happier, but also responsible when it came to using his new device.
In the end, I realized that there's no need to fear new things if you approach them with wisdom and responsibility. Joy showed Tim how to enjoy his gift, and I helped him understand the importance of taking care of it and using it sensibly. Together, we made sure that the new phone became a source of joy for Tim, not a source of worry.
So that's our story. Tim's new phone brought him a lot of happiness, but it also taught him important lessons. Once again, Anxiety and I proved that together, we can handle any situation. The key is support, care, and the ability to find a balance between joy and responsibility.
And I'm glad I could help Tim see not just the bright side, but also the important side of this gift. Now he can enjoy his phone without forgetting about safety and real life. And maybe I can be a little more at ease, knowing that he's got everything under control.
Hi, it's Joy, and I can't wait to tell you about our recent adventure with Anxiety. The day started out as usual, but quickly turned into something quite unexpected. It all began when our good friend Tim decided to try something new and surprising. He decided to bake a cake for the first time in his life. I was thrilled by the idea. A cake means fun, joy, And of course, deliciousness.
And well, as you might guess, I immediately started to worry. A cake? But Tim has never baked before. What if it doesn't turn out well? What if he mixes up something and the cake burns? Or what if he cuts himself with a sharp knife or gets burned by the hot oven? All these thoughts flooded my mind in an instant. Sure, baking is interesting, but it also has its dangers. But I couldn't let these worries stop such a wonderful idea. I went over to Tim and suggested that he start with a simple recipe. "You can do it. It'll be fun," I said, encouraging him. We chose a simple vanilla cake, and Tim began gathering the ingredients with a smile. I helped him enjoy every step, beating the eggs, sifting the flour, adding the sugar. It was all so exciting, but I couldn't just sit quietly. As Tim mixed the batter, I kept reminding him to be careful with the knife and not to forget the timer, so the cake wouldn't burn. I watched every step he took, making sure everything was going according to plan. And I'll admit, it wasn't easy. But I knew my care would help avoid any mishaps, and I hoped Tim would listen to my advice.
When the cake was in the oven, we all sat down to wait. This was the most exciting time. I was delighted as the smell of vanilla filled the kitchen, and Tim couldn't wait to see the result. I told him, "Imagine how delicious this will be, and how awesome that you made it yourself." We laughed, imagining how we would enjoy this tasty cake. And although I'm always on guard to prevent possible problems, I'm glad to have Joy by my side, who helps me see the bright side of things. Together, we proved once again that we can make any day better, even if there are worries and fears along the way. Hello everyone, dear friends. As usual, we're here with your favorite characters, Joy, Anxiety, Anger, and Disgust. Today, Tim is going to tackle a new mode called Anger Berry's Prison Run.
Anger, is that you? Did you lock us up, trap Tim in this scary prison?
No, Anxiety, calm down. I don't know the guy who locked us up here. It must be my twin brother. Otherwise, I can't explain who he is because he really looks like me. Guys, subscribe to the channel and like the video, and also comment below why you think that guy looks so much like me.
Hey guys, look at the walls. Those are memories. How did they get there? Is Tim inside someone's head? How is that even possible?
Why assume we're inside someone's head? Maybe they're just colorful balloons and there's nothing more to it.
I understand, but we're in a ventilation shaft, and it's really scary. Tim, please, let's hurry up. I'm very scared.
Darn it, there's that guy who looks like me again. He spotted us. Let's get out of here.
Oh no, he's really close. I can't stand being near him. He smells awful. Tim, please, let's move to a more pleasant and comfortable place quickly.
Ventilation! I see the ventilation! We need to run there. We'll get away from him, and he definitely won't reach us there. Let's go!
Oh no, not there. We just came from there. I'm really scared of confined spaces. It's dark and cramped. What if Tim gets stuck? Aren't there any other options?
I'm about to explode. Who the hell is this guy? How dare he trap us here? How dare he chase after Tim? Once we escape, I'll sort this out. But for now, we have to stay alert and extremely cautious.
Oh no, oh god, it smells so terrible here. Why did we even come here? I can't stand any of this. Tim, let's get out of here as soon as possible.
See how strong our boy is. He'll make it. We'll definitely get to the end. But where exactly are we now?
Great, we ended up in a dungeon. Everything here is very bright. What if something collapses right on our boy? It's really scary, honestly.
Tim needs to be more careful and vigilant. Below us is lava. If Tim makes a mistake, he could fall right into it. We can't let that happen.
Oh my god, it's so cold, damp, and musty here. Can I please not look at this? Although I'll still feel it. It's awful. There are so many rats. It feels like we're the first ones to come here in hundreds of years.
Look at that big sphere. It looks mesmerizing.
Joy, that big sphere could crush Tim. It's really scary. What if he doesn't make it in time and gets squished? I'm afraid to even think about it.
Anxiety, calm down. Tim is doing great. He'll make it in time and won't get crushed. I promise.
I think Tim needs to be careful. He's almost done it.
Great, hooray. Tim has overcome that obstacle. Keep it up. Guys, I think it's a good time to share a few fascinating stories with our viewers. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get started. This story is about the invasion of alien monkeys. When we first saw them in our world, I felt a sense of adventure. These creatures were amusing and strange, with vibrant colors and unusual abilities. Although their arrival caused some commotion, I was thrilled to witness something so extraordinary and fantastic. There was joy in seeing the world in a new light and experiencing something unique.
However, I couldn't help but worry. The alien monkeys behaved very oddly. They started exploring the city, and it seemed like they didn't quite understand how things worked here. I was concerned that their behavior could lead to problems or even pose a threat to people. I tried to keep an eye on their actions, hoping that they wouldn't cause harm and could quickly adapt to our world.
Honestly, I was frustrated by how they were wandering around the streets and creating chaos. The monkeys were littering, building their toys right in the middle of roads and disrupting people's daily lives. I felt like we needed to stop them, or at least teach them to behave more respectfully. Why should we put up with their mess and disorder when they're the ones causing it?
When the monkeys started spreading their exotic products and gadgets, I couldn't help but feel disgusted. These strange things looked creepy and were completely messy. Where did they get all that dirt on their paws? And why did they decide to leave it on people's furniture and clothing? I hoped they would quickly learn how to behave in our world. Otherwise, it would become a big problem.
Fortunately, once their behavior stabilized a bit, I noticed that they began interacting with people and helping them with everyday tasks. The monkeys used their alien technology to create fun and useful things, which brought joy to many people. They became part of our world, and their presence added a unique charm to the everyday routine.
Although I saw that the monkeys were beginning to establish contact with people, I still worried that a new conflict or problem could arise. How would their relationship with us develop? Would they be able to adapt and understand that their actions needed to align with our customs? I kept an eye on the situation to be prepared for any surprises.
Sometimes I was still angry when some of the monkeys didn't fully grasp what they could and couldn't do. Their attempts to experiment with our technology led to annoying glitches and even breakdowns. It was extremely frustrating, but I knew that patience and understanding would help to improve their behavior and integration.
Gradually, as the monkeys learned to maintain order and respect our customs, my disgust began to fade. I realized that much of their strange behavior was due to their ignorance about our world. Once they settled in, it became clear that their presence could be interesting and even beneficial.
In the end, the alien monkeys found their place in our world. They became new friends and partners, and their unusual abilities helped people in various aspects of life. We learned to see the world from their perspective and understood that sometimes unexpected events can lead to amazing discoveries and new opportunities. We were all delighted that we could adapt and find common ground with these extraordinary beings.
Did you enjoy the story, friends? Do you want more? Then hit that like button and subscribe, and let's keep going.
Recently, Tim had a real blast. His parents decided to surprise him with a day of adventures at an amusement park. We were all, including me, thrilled about it. Tim couldn't wait to ride all the cool attractions, roller coasters, the Ferris wheel, and water slides. Everything was filled with laughter, bright lights, and fun. Tim was literally glowing with happiness, and it was contagious.
But of course, I couldn't fully relax. I was worried about Tim's safety on the rides. Some of them looked too fast and dangerous. I kept a close eye to make sure he was strapped in and reminded him to pay attention to the instructions. My anxiety grew when Tim and his friends decided to try the most extreme ride in the park.
I was a bit irritated when some of the kids in line for the ride started shouting and pushing. It was disrespectful and disrupted others, including Tim. It especially annoyed me when one of the boys started throwing trash on the floor. I thought if they were more considerate of others, everything would be much more pleasant.
Additionally, I felt disgusted by the state of some places in the park. Seeing dirty restrooms and unclean trash bins, I couldn't help but feel it ruined the overall experience. I hoped Tim wouldn't notice and get upset about the mess. I wanted him to focus on the fun and good experiences rather than the unpleasant details.
Fortunately, despite the small troubles and issues, Tim and his friends enjoyed every moment of the day. They laughed, screamed with excitement on the rides, and even with some inconveniences, the day was unforgettable. Tim was so happy that his smile could light up the entire day. We were all delighted to see him spending time with friends and enjoying all the park's joys.
My anxiety eased a bit when we saw that everyone got home safe and sound. I was relieved that Tim was cautious and followed all the ride instructions. Overall, the day went well despite minor worries.
I was still somewhat annoyed by some people's behavior in the park, but I realized it was important not to let these small things ruin the overall experience. Tim was happy, and that's what mattered most. I decided it was better to focus on the positive moments and enjoy that Tim had such a wonderful day.
Over time, I got used to the fact that large places have some unpleasant details. I was still glad that Tim was able to enjoy his day despite the minor inconveniences. It was important to see that he found joy in every aspect and enjoyed his time with friends.
And so the evening came to a close, and Tim was full of impressions and happiness. This day at the amusement park became a real celebration for him, full of adventures and fun. We were all pleased to be part of this special day, and I was proud of how Tim handled any challenges to make the day truly unforgettable.
So, how did you like the story? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which mode we should try next time.
Guys, we've reached the final boss. Tim needs to defeat him.
He's huge and scary. Subscribers, help us.
He's disgusting. Tim, let's finish him off and get out of here quickly. I believe in you. You can do it.
Tim, tear him to shreds! Go, Tim! He deserves this. We're at the final stretch. Just one last push and we're free!
Look how well Tim is handling it. Keep it up. Go, Tim. Just a little more to go.
What if it hurts Tim? I'm so scared. Please, my boy, be careful.
Oh no! He's insane! Tim, show him. He has to pay for locking us up. Go on, just a bit more. I believe in you. Tear him apart.
Thanks for sticking with us, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you next time. Hello, everyone, dear friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Today, Tim is playing a mode called Anxiety Inside Police Prison Run Escape.
Guys, your support is really important to us. Without you, Tim won't be able to overcome these very scary and dangerous obstacles. Subscribe and hit the like button.
Today, Tim is escaping from the prison of anxiety. I'm really angry. Anxiety, why did you lock Tim in this prison? Huh? That's very mean. It makes me furious.
Anger? I don't think it was anxiety. She couldn't have done that, although who knows. But this place is really disgusting and gross. Tim, let's get out of here quickly.
Guys, don't panic. Be optimistic. This is just another one of our adventures, and it must be an evil copy of anxiety that locked us up here. I'm not sure, but I definitely like our new adventure.
Guys, how could you think it was me? I'm really scared of all this. I swear, I'm really worried about our boy Tim. I would never do such a thing to him.
Oh no, she locked up Envy, and I definitely don't envy her. Why is this fake copy of anxiety bothering us? I'm so angry.
Oh no, she's disgusting. We need to rescue Envy as quickly as possible and avoid crossing paths with that revolting creature.
Guys, no need to panic. We've got explosives to break the cage and free Envy. Come on, Tim. We have to help her.
Oh no, this is really dangerous. I'm so worried about our boy Tim. Please be careful.
What the heck is this? What kind of nonsense is this? It makes me so angry. I'm about to erupt like a volcano. What the heck? Whoa! That's an explosion.
Oh my gosh, this smell is so disgusting. This place is terrible. It reeks. The vibe here is so dull and gross. Ugh! Tim, let's hurry up and get out of here. We've helped Envy escape, so we did a great job. But now it's time to leave.
Guys, we helped Envy escape, and that's awesome. Now let's stay positive and start finding our own way out of this prison. I believe Tim can do it. He's a smart boy. What do you think?
We're back in the ventilation system, and it's so cramped and scary in here. I believe in our boy, but I'm really worried. What if something happens to him and he can't make it out?
Seriously? A bathroom disgust. How are you holding up?
Oh, no. This is awful. It's disgusting. Why does it smell so bad in here? I can't stay here for long. You all saw it yourselves. I think I'm about to puke. Yes, definitely. I'm close to it. Tim, let's get out of here quickly.
Disgust. Keep it together. It's okay. Tim has escaped the restroom, so you won't feel nauseous anymore. Everything's fine. Tim is heading in the right direction. Keep it up.
Thanks. I'll try to keep it together. I see that Tim has already left that awful room and is heading in the right direction. I'll hang in there and support him despite all the unpleasant moments. Go, Tim. You've got this.
All right, I think it's time to share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers. Guys, are you subscribed to our channel? If not, I'll give you 5 seconds to subscribe and hit the like button. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Did you make it? If not, I'll give you another 5 seconds.
Well, all right. This touching story will move you, I promise. The atmosphere at the stadium was amazing. Tim and his team were playing in the finals of the football tournament, and I was just glowing with happiness. They demonstrated incredible skills and teamwork. I saw Tim becoming more confident with every moment, and it was magnificent. When the referee blew the whistle announcing Tim as the winner, the stadium erupted with cheers. Everyone celebrated the victory, and Tim was on cloud 9.
Although I was happy for Tim, I have to admit I had a bit of anxiety. The competition was over, but all this attention and emotion could affect his self-esteem. Also, when the cheerleader started showing interest in Tim, I worried that it might be too overwhelming for him. What if he doesn't know how to handle the newfound attention?
I had to tamp down my surge of anger when I saw that cheerleader approaching Tim with a loving look. He had just won the tournament, and now this stranger was clinging to him. Why did she have to appear right now? At first, I didn't understand how Tim would handle this new attention, and it just infuriated me. But of course, my anger gradually subsided when I saw Tim accepting her compliments with a smile and a bit of shyness.
I can't hide that I was a bit disgusted by the whole situation at first. All this attention, flirting, and the pink hearts against the backdrop of a sports victory seemed a bit excessive to me. But when I saw them smiling together, my disgust started to turn into understanding. After all, these are just emotions, and no one can stop Tim from being happy.
All these emotions actually turned out to be wonderful. When Tim and the cheerleader started talking, I saw how both of them became more joyful. They talked about the football tournament, how Tim always dreamed of becoming a professional footballer, and how the cheerleader had always admired his play. I felt overwhelmed with joy when Tim asked her to meet again.
Of course, I was still a bit anxious. What if Tim was too nervous and couldn't relax on the date? What if he couldn't find common ground with the cheerleader? But I saw them chatting happily, and it reassured me a bit. If they feel comfortable with each other, maybe everything will turn out well.
I finally realized that my anger was misplaced. Tim deserves happiness, and if this girl makes him happy, then why not? I saw him laughing and joking with her and understood that my angry feelings were just unnecessary. It seems like it was a good experience for him.
I can't hide that I was a bit disgusted by the whole situation at first. All this attention, flirting, and the pink hearts against the backdrop of a sports victory seemed a bit excessive to me. But when I saw them smiling together, my disgust started to turn into understanding. After all, these are just emotions, and no one can stop Tim from being happy.
In the end, Tim and the girl agreed to a date, and I saw them walking together, happy and smiling. It was wonderful. I'm glad they found each other and can share their feelings. Sometimes when you win something important, life gives you unexpected but very pleasant surprises. Tim is now not only a football tournament winner, but also a happy guy starting a new chapter in his life.
Hey guys, how did you like our story? Did you enjoy it? Want more? If so, make sure to subscribe and like our channel. Your support means a lot to us. And now, let's continue.
It was an amazing day. Tim and I decided to have a picnic in the park, and everything was going perfectly. The sunshine, fresh air, delicious food, I was practically glowing with happiness. Tim was in a great mood, organizing everything down to the smallest detail. Tasty sandwiches, fruit salad, and even a folding chair for comfortable seating. Around us, kids were playing, families were enjoying their time together, and Tim seemed to radiate joy. I was thrilled with how everything was unfolding.
But just as everything started to seem perfect, I felt a bit of anxiety. I saw Tim opening the food package, and suddenly remembered that he might have forgotten about his nut allergies. A small worry crept in. What if someone brought nuts, or if the salad had ingredients that could trigger a reaction? I couldn't shake the thought that something might go wrong, and it was bothering me.
Then I noticed someone starting to launch balloons right into our picnic area. These people didn't seem to care at all that others were relaxing around them. Balloons were flying, and some landed right on our tables, messing up the food. I was furious. How could people be so rude? This was our day, our picnic, and someone was ruining it with their antics. I could feel my irritation growing with each passing minute.
All these balloons and trash around me became absolutely disgusting. When I saw someone inflating a balloon and throwing it in another direction, it accidentally landed in our fruit salad. It was a nightmare. I couldn't look away from the horrible sight, and everything started to look so dirty and unpleasant. I nearly lost my appetite, and it was a real test for my nerves.
But as soon as I saw Tim approaching the group with the balloons, calmly explaining the situation with a smile and humor, everything started to get better. He asked them not to launch balloons near our picnic and suggested a new spot for their activities. It was an incredible moment. Tim managed to keep his composure and kindness even in a difficult situation, and it made me incredibly happy. In the end, the celebration continued, and everything became much more pleasant.
I felt more at ease seeing how Tim handled the situation so effectively. Of course, I was still a bit worried about potential unexpected incidents, but it seemed like everything was going in the right direction. Tim had everything organized, and I could relax a little. He confirmed that everything he brought was safe, and I felt relieved.
My anger gradually subsided. Seeing how Tim managed everything and how people started to follow the rules, I calmed down. Sure, there was still some lingering irritation from how the situation started, but now that everything was settled, I realized that sometimes you just need to take a break and let go of anger.
Although some traces of balloons and trash still remained, I saw Tim and his friends cleaning up the leftovers and tidying everything up. I noticed that even in such situations, you can find something positive. We were able to enjoy the picnic again, and I felt better seeing that things were returning to normal.
In the end, we continued our picnic, enjoying the food and good company. I felt happiness again seeing Tim laughing and interacting with friends. Even if things didn't go perfectly, we still made the day special. It's a reminder that even in tough moments, it's important to stay positive and find joy in every moment.
Well, guys, while we were sharing stories, Tim has already reached the end. He just has to defeat the final boss now. Tim, you're almost there. Go for it.
Subscribe, like, and goodbye, everyone.
Hello, are you subscribed to the channel? If not, go ahead and do it right now. Subscribe and hit the like button and we'll get started. Wow, we're in Enwy Barry's prison run. But, wait, why does everything look so boring? Even Barry doesn't seem scary. He's just sitting in the corner, sighing. Maybe this is a prison for boredom. It looks like Barry's having a crisis. He's just tired of his job.
A boring prison? That doesn't mean it's not dangerous. What if boredom is the most devious trap? We might start feeling too relaxed and then suddenly something happens. Maybe these gray walls are hiding something scary and Barry's just pretending to be bored.
Look at him. He's not even trying to catch us. Maybe we should call him over and suggest playing a game. You know, to cheer him up a bit. I think he's just been sitting around for too long. We should help him. Let's break out with some fun.
What? Do you seriously think Barry would want to have fun? I feel like he could be both angry and bored at the same time. And if he gets excited, he might hunt us down with double the energy. What if there are hidden traps behind all this boredom, ready to activate the moment we let our guard down?
All right, no relaxing. But at least look on the bright side. The first challenge is a huge room filled with foam blocks. It's like a playground. We just need to jump over these blocks and not fall into this... Wait, is that a pool of iced tea?
A pool of tea? That's odd. What if the tea is a trap? We could jump over the blocks and then get stuck in the tea forever. Or worse, it could be enchanted tea, and we'll feel bored like Barry for eternity. It's starting to feel weirder by the minute.
Come on. Just imagine it's a sweet drink and hop over the blocks. Look, I'm almost across the room already. Barry's not even paying attention to us. I think we've got a chance. Just don't fall, or you'll end up stuck here thinking tea is the main course forever.
All right, I'm coming. But if the tea turns sticky and we get trapped, it's all on you. What's next? I hope it's not another room filled with something even more boring. Oh, wait, I see it. It's a library, a massive library full of dusty books. I don't like this at all.
Oh, a library? What if these aren't just dusty books but a portal to another dimension? Maybe if we find the most boring book, it'll open a way out. Or, okay, maybe Barry is just trying to make us read economics textbooks to drown us in ultimate boredom.
A portal? Sounds like a trap. We'll start reading and fall asleep forever. That's the perfect plan for a prison of boredom. I wouldn't touch those books. What if they're enchanted? We could get stuck in an endless lecture from Barry about... I don't even want to imagine what he might talk about.
Okay, let's avoid the library. But look at what's next. A room with giant clocks. They're ticking so slowly, I'm starting to understand why Barry is bored. But that doesn't mean we can't escape. We just need to run between the clock hands as they slowly move. Easy.
Clock hands? That's definitely a trap. If we make a mistake, they'll hit us, and then we'll be stuck in time? Trapped forever in this cycle of boredom? Or Barry will activate some kind of fast-forward boredom mode, and we'll be stuck repeating everything over and over again.
You've hit the nail on the head. But we can still beat boredom. Just dash through the clock hands, and I'm sure something exciting is waiting at the end. Maybe Barry will realize we won't give up and just let us out.
I don't know. I feel like Barry has way too much patience. Okay, let's run through these clock hands, but if anything goes wrong, I'm hiding behind the nearest gray wall. Hey, I think this is the perfect moment to share a few fun stories with our subscribers.
This time, Anxiety and I had one of the most challenging but incredibly fascinating tasks. Imagine this. We ended up as the emotions of an evil scientist. Yes, the very one who was always devising wicked plans and creating awful inventions. So here we were, living inside him, trying to change something. But I knew for sure that even in the darkest villains, you can find a good heart if you help them see it.
Oh, it wasn't that simple. This scientist was constantly coming up with something terrible, either a device to control people or a chemical substance that could destroy everything around. Every time he started a new evil scheme, I felt knots tightening inside me. What if he really harms someone? I kept thinking. And although I always tried to warn him, my fears were often ignored. After all, he was so convinced of his mission.
But I didn't give up. I started telling the scientist about all the good he could do with his incredible intellect and inventions. I reminded him of how he could use his technology to help people. Look at all the good you could bring to the world, I said, as he sat in his lab, surrounded by test tubes and tools. I knew that deep down, he wasn't truly evil. He was just lost.
But every time I saw him creating yet another sinister device, my heart would race. "This is too dangerous," I shouted, trying to stop him. "What if it gets out of control? What if your plan ends in disaster?" I was always on guard, knowing the consequences of his actions could be irreversible. And while Joy was trying to convince him to do good, I couldn't help but worry.
Then one day, a turning point came. The scientist had developed a machine that could control the weather. His original plan was to use it to create a destructive storm and show off his power. But I realized this was our chance. I began telling him how the same machine could help drought-stricken areas of the world by bringing much-needed rain. "You could be a hero," I exclaimed. "You could help millions of people."
I supported Joy, but in my own way. "What if your storm spirals out of control?" I asked the scientist. "You could accidentally destroy everything, but if you direct your invention towards something good, not only will you avoid catastrophe, but you'll make the world a better place." This time he seemed to hesitate. I saw uncertainty flicker in his eyes, and for the first time, he started to doubt his evil plans.
And that's when we saw a change in the scientist for the first time. Instead of creating a destructive storm, he used his machine to bring much-needed rain to drought-ridden areas. People in those places had been suffering from severe dryness, and thanks to his invention, they finally had water for their fields and drinking. It was his first step toward good. I could see him starting to realize the positive impact he could have, and my heart was overjoyed.
Of course, I was still worried. I couldn't help but think he might return to his old ways, but day by day I noticed his actions becoming more thoughtful and safe. He no longer built crazy, destructive machines, but instead began inventing things that could solve real problems. For example, he created a water purifier that helped cities with polluted water.
Oh, I was thrilled with each new good invention. Now, the scientist understood that with his knowledge, he didn't have to be a villain. He could be a true hero. Instead of causing harm, he was helping people. Anxiety and I watched him transform, and it was amazing. His lab no longer looked gloomy and sinister. It became a place where helpful inventions were born.
Now I was calmer. Of course, I still kept an eye on his work, reminding him about safety and potential risks. But now, I saw that he was paying more attention to me. He no longer sought destruction. Instead, he realized that good could be done without endangering others.
And that's how we helped an evil scientist become good. His intellect and creativity were now used for the benefit of people, not their destruction. He became a different person, and that was thanks to both Anxiety and me. Together, we helped him find the light and his place in the world, not as a villain, but as a hero.
I'm glad I could help him become more responsible and thoughtful. And with Joy by his side, he learned that doing good brings more happiness than any wicked scheme. Now we're confident that he's on the right path.
So even the most wicked scientist can turn good if there's even a spark of light inside. And once again, Anxiety and I proved that together, we can change even the darkest hearts. It all started when our friend Tim decided to try something completely new. He was going to perform on the school stage. It was his first time, and I was ecstatic. Just imagine how cool it is to step onto the stage in front of everyone and show your talent. I supported him as much as I could. You've got this. It's going to be amazing. Everyone will love you. So that's our short story. Anxiety and I worked together again, and in the end, Tim really nailed it.
I was proud of Tim. Despite my worries, he managed it. And I realized that sometimes my fears can help with preparation, but Joy always knows how to provide support at the right moment.
And it went perfectly. Tim finished his performance to loud applause, and we were both so happy for him. He not only performed on stage, but also overcame his fears, which is the most important thing.
I was still nervous, but when I saw Tim starting to speak confidently and even smiling, I felt a bit relieved. Yes, I was still worried about every phrase he said, but Joy was helping him get through it.
But I couldn't let anxiety spoil all the fun so easily. I started telling Tim how great it feels to be confident on stage, how wonderful it is to hear applause and see people's smiles. You've prepared for this for a long time, you can do it, I said. We even practiced his speech together, and with each try, he felt more confident.
Oh, and at that moment, I couldn't think of anything positive. The stage? In front of a huge crowd? Everyone will be watching only Tim. What if he forgets his lines? Or starts stuttering? What if someone in the audience laughs and he gets flustered? These thoughts just wouldn't leave me alone. I went up to Tim and started whispering, "Are you sure? What if something goes wrong? This is a big responsibility."
Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Hey, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe. Oh, look, Anxiety. We're in Embarrassment Barry's prison-run obby. This is a Roblox classic. Just look at Barry. He looks like he needs to stop eating pizza for breakfast. And why is he so embarrassed? Maybe it's because his prison is full of such ridiculous obstacles.
Listen, I don't know why he's embarrassed, but I do know that we're not here by choice. We're in prison, and that means we need to escape ASAP. And that Barry, he looks like he could start chasing us at any moment. Do you see that huge belly? He definitely won't be running fast, but what if he suddenly rolls at us like a giant ball?
Well, that would be fun. Barry's like Indiana Jones, but with a belly. By the way, look, there's a whole room with giant donuts. This must be a challenge. We have to jump over the donuts and not fall into the glaze. What do you think if I fall? Can I at least lick a bit of the glaze?
No, no, and no. You're telling me these donuts are obstacles? What if they're traps? Maybe they're not as sweet as you think. And Barry is probably lurking around the corner waiting to catch us in the act. Or in the glaze.
So what? I'm still going to be the first to jump through them. You know, the key is speed and confidence. Jump, 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 see? Easy. Now it's your turn. Just don't forget, if you fall, you'll stay sweet and sticky forever. Though, that might not be so bad.
Not so bad? I'm not risking my life for giant donuts. What if Barry triggers an alarm? Or worse, he creates even more embarrassing obstacles to keep us from escaping. What if he makes us jump through rubber ducks in a dirty bathtub?
Rubber ducks? That sounds even funnier than the donuts. Maybe after this, we'll be sent to the toy section of Barry's prison. I wouldn't mind that level, because there are too many bars and lasers here. We need more fun.
Fun? You're in a prison escape game, and you think it's not fun enough? Everything here is trying to embarrass us and make us do silly but dangerous things. Do you see those pipes ahead? I bet they're scorching hot. One wrong move and we'll be toast.
Or maybe they're not pipes, but some kind of pizza ventilation for Barry? If we're fast enough, we can toast a slice for ourselves. Just imagine, an escape with pizza in hand. That would be the tastiest escape in Roblox history.
Are you serious? Joy, this is no time for jokes. That Barry is right behind us. Do you hear his breathing? It sounds like an old vacuum cleaner, but that doesn't mean he won't catch up. We need to run through these pipes, not dream about pizza.
All right. I'm running through the pipes. Just don't fall behind. And if Barry does catch up to us, we'll just tell him we're protesting against the bad prison food. Maybe he'll let us go for being honest.
Protesting? He'll probably make us cook for all the other inmates. Let's go before he changes his mind about letting us into the cafeteria.
I'm Joy, and together with my friend Anxiety, we went through an incredible adventure that changed our world forever. One morning, when the sun was shining warmly and everything seemed perfect, clowns started appearing from the sky. Yes, clowns, but these weren't the fun, jolly circus performers we all love. These were evil, sinister clowns with frightening masks and creepy grins. They weren't joking around. They were trying to take over our world, spreading terror everywhere. But of course, Anxiety and I couldn't just sit idly by.
At first, I felt a cold fear. Thoughts kept spinning in my head. What if we can't do it? What if the world is destroyed? What if this is the end of everything good? The clowns were everywhere, on the streets, in parks, even in people's homes. They were blowing huge bubbles of fear and panic, and it seemed like everything was about to collapse. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure if we could do anything at all. But then Joy came over to me, her eyes sparkling.
I told Anxiety that we had to believe. Believe in ourselves, in goodness, in the fact that we could find a solution. The world isn't as simple as it seems at first glance. There's room for both joy and anxiety, but the most important thing is not to let fear win. That's when I had an idea. The evil clowns feed on fear, right? So let's deprive them of their power source.
Deprive them of fear? I was both surprised and scared. How could we do that? Fear is such a strong emotion, and I know more about it than anyone else. I knew how hard it can be to deal with it. But Joy believed in me, and maybe that was the strangest and most amazing thing in the world. She took my hand and said, "Anxiety, without you, the world wouldn't be as interesting and colorful. We can defeat the clowns, but only if we work together."
And so our mission began. We came up with the idea to create massive waves of joy and laughter to disperse the darkness the clowns had brought with them. I gathered everyone who wanted to return to the brighter moments of life. Games, jokes, songs, dances. Everything was put into action. But fun alone wasn't enough to completely rid people of their fears. That's when Anxiety came up with something incredible.
I realized that fear could be our ally too. When we understand our fears and accept them, they become smaller, losing their hold over us. I taught people not to hide from their worries, but to face them head on and find strength in them. Together with Joy, we showed that fears are a part of us, but they don't have to control our lives. People began to understand that laughter and anxiety could coexist. And when the evil clowns saw that their fears were no longer scary, they started to disappear.
When fear lost its power, the world was once again filled with light and joy. People were no longer afraid, and smiles returned to their faces. The clowns retreated, their menacing masks melting like snow under the spring sun. Anxiety and I did it. It turned out that together we could create the perfect balance. I bring light, and anxiety helps people understand and deal with their emotions.
In the end, I learned that there's no need to fear your worries. They're not the enemy. Sometimes they're just warnings about something important. And now that the world was saved from the evil clowns, I felt a little calmer. After all, with joy by my side and belief in ourselves, anything is possible.
And that's how we saved the world from the evil clown invasion. Although the journey was full of anxieties and worries, it taught us that even the scariest moments can be overcome if you face them with hope and a smile. Yesterday, Anxiety and I went through a very eventful experience. My friend Tim was riding his brand new bike. He was so thrilled when he first got on it. The wind ruffled his hair, and his face beamed with a smile. Everything was going great until at some point, Tim lost his balance and fell. He rolled off his bike straight onto the ground, and I instantly felt my heart tighten. But I knew I had to stay calm and positive to help Tim through this moment.
And I was absolutely terrified. The moment Tim fell, everything inside me tensed up like a tight string. What if he's seriously hurt? What if it's a broken bone? What if he's now afraid to ride a bike? These thoughts spun in my head like a whirlwind, and I could barely keep them under control. I rushed over to Tim, trying to see how he was feeling.
Anxiety, of course. You immediately imagine the worst-case scenario. But I saw it differently. Tim was strong and brave, and even though he fell, it's just part of learning. Everyone falls when they're learning to ride a bike. So I started smiling and reminded him, Tim, you made so many laps without falling. This bike is your best friend. You just need a little more practice. I helped him get up, and even suggested joking about how he looked like a superhero as he tumbled down.
But I still couldn't stop worrying. I saw a scrape on his knee, and that made me even more tense inside. What if it gets infected? What if it leaves a scar? I immediately started thinking that we needed to clean the wound, cover it with a bandage, and of course, be more careful next time. My heart was pounding like a drum, and I knew this was important because safety is everything.
But I knew Tim needed to distract himself from the pain a little. So I started telling him how all great cyclists fall when they're learning. I said it's just part of the journey, and each such moment only makes him stronger. A scrape? Well, that's just a sign that he tried and was brave. I suggested he think about how he would get back on the bike and ride even farther, without falling. See, anxiety, a little optimism can help us get through moments like these.
Of course, Joy's right that it's important to support Tim. But I was needed too. When Tim started feeling the pain from the scrape, he immediately realized that he needed to be more careful in the future. I helped him understand how important it is to take care of himself and pay attention to how he feels. Joy and I approached the situation from different angles. She helped him not be afraid and regain his confidence, while I showed him how to be cautious. Yes, and even though I was still worried, I realized that Joy helped him not to be afraid. We're both important to him. My concerns about safety and her positive outlook made sure that Tim not only learned from his mistakes, but also continued moving forward with confidence.
So in the end, falling off a bike isn't so scary. It teaches us to be brave, but also careful. Thanks to anxiety, Tim became more cautious, and thanks to me, he became more confident. Now every new day on his bike is full of joy, with just a touch of caution. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, dear friends. As usual, we have joy, anxiety, anger, and disgust here. Today, Tim will be playing a mode called Escape Sadness Barry's Prison Run. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get started.
Oh no! Why did sadness lock us up here, in this colorful yet terribly scary prison? We need to find a way out of here. This place looks deceptively bright, but I feel there are many dangers lurking around. Tim, be careful. Every step could be a trap. Let's combine our efforts and find an exit. Guys, we need your support more than ever. Subscribe, hit the like button, and let's get through this challenge together.
Sadness, how could you lock us in here? This isn't just a prison, it's a nightmare. But know this, I won't go down without a fight. Tim, if anything goes wrong, we'll fight our way out. No one leaves us here.
Ugh, what a horrible place. These rainbow walls look disgusting and are not cheerful at all. Tim, try not to touch anything. Who knows what germs might be here?
Hey, it's Sadness. But why is she chasing us? Maybe she wants to tell us something. Tim, don't stop, but stay alert.
Sadness! If this is another trap, I won't tolerate it. But if she really wants to say something, why doesn't she stop and explain? Tim, keep running, but stay sharp.
Why does she look so strange? And why this chase in the first place? This looks disgusting. Tim, don't let her get too close. Who knows what she's up to?
Phew, I was so worried. It's good that Tim managed to escape, but what do we do now? What other traps might lie ahead? Tim, be very careful.
Guys, I don't know what's waiting for us ahead, but Tim's got everything under control. Look how skillfully and beautifully he's digging. He's doing great.
This is just horrible. Lava everywhere. Tim, be very careful. One wrong step and you could fall. I'm so worried about you. Please be attentive and cautious.
Damn it, why does there have to be lava here? This is just unbearable. Tim, be careful and don't stop. We have to get through this, no matter what.
Ugh, that was simply awful. The lava, the heat, and that unbearable smell. But Tim made it. Let's hope the next challenge is less disgusting.
Wow, guys, look at that huge ball. It looks very dangerous and mesmerizing. Tim needs to be careful here.
Oh, this is really scary. If Tim doesn't get away in time, that huge ball could cause him serious harm. We need to hope that he is fast and careful enough to avoid this.
Come on, Tim, you're almost there. Just a little bit more and you've got this. I believe in you.
Yes, Tim made it, but this prison is just awful. I can't wait to finally leave this disgusting place.
Guys, I suggest we take a little break and listen to a few interesting stories while Tim is escaping from the prison. Haven't liked and subscribed yet? I'll give you 5 seconds to do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you missed it, I'm giving you another 5 seconds, and let's get started. When we became emotions in Nina's head, we immediately noticed that she was very withdrawn and reluctant to interact with other children. Nina often sat alone during lessons and breaks, and she found it hard to make friends. It was sad to see her joyful moments go unnoticed by those around her. I dreamed that she could open up and share her inner happiness with others. I knew I could help her if I tried harder to show how fun and interesting interaction can be.
However, I was in constant anxiety. I understood that Nina experienced a lot of fear when it came to socializing. Every time she needed to talk to someone or take part in a group task, her heart would start racing and she would become even more withdrawn. I worried that her fears were preventing her from opening up and building relationships. We needed to find a way to help her overcome these anxious feelings so she could feel more confident in social interactions.
I was frustrated when I saw that other kids didn't always understand Nina and sometimes judged her for being unsocial. It was unfair and wrong. I was angry that she had to feel lonely because of this issue and how sometimes others could hurt her. I knew something needed to be done to change the situation, and my anger turned into determination to help Nina improve her life.
At first, I felt disgusted seeing Nina isolate herself from others, with her fears and indecision worsening. It seemed like she was living in her own world, completely cut off from social life. I felt that these internal barriers were preventing her from enjoying social interactions. Therefore, we needed to help her overcome this sense of disgust towards interacting with others.
Initially, we decided to create small but joyful moments for Nina to help her feel more confident. We encouraged her to try participating in simple and enjoyable activities like games with friends or club activities. I used every opportunity to show Nina how communication could bring joy and satisfaction. Gradually, she started becoming more open to interactions and realized that socializing could be fun and pleasant.
I helped Nina manage her anxiety when she faced new situations. I tried to support her by reminding her that many of her fears weren't as terrifying as she imagined. We discussed her fears together, and I helped her gradually step out of her comfort zone, taking small steps.
From time to time, I felt anger towards those who didn't try to understand Nina or made her feel even more uncomfortable. But this anger helped me be more determined in supporting Nina, who worked on building her confidence so she could stand up to injustice and not let it hinder her development.
I learned to control my disgust and turn it into positive energy. We looked for ways to make Nina more open and receptive to interaction by creating comfortable and friendly situations. Gradually, Nina began to pay less attention to her sense of disgust towards socializing and started enjoying communication.
And then, after some time, Nina became significantly more sociable. She started making new friends, participating in group activities, and enjoying interactions with other children. I saw her face light up with happiness when she socialized and made friends. It was a moment we all had been waiting for, and I was incredibly happy to see Nina opening up and starting to enjoy socializing.
My anxiety gradually decreased as I saw Nina handling new situations. I was proud that her fears weren't stopping her and that she was finding joy in socializing. I knew she would continue to grow and develop.
I was satisfied that I was able to help Nina become more confident and sociable. My anger towards those who might have hurt her was now replaced by pride in her achievements. Nina was ready to face challenges, and we all made that possible together.
My disgust towards Nina's isolation and social rejection was now replaced by satisfaction. I was glad that Nina was able to overcome her internal barriers and find her place in the world.
Well, did you like it? If so, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll share another story with you. Today we're all feeling a tremendous amount of excitement and joy. Our boy Tim has received an invitation to an amazing magical city that exists only in ancient fairy tales. We, his emotions, are ready to embark on this thrilling journey with him. Just imagine how many wonderful moments await us. Getting into this city is no easy feat, and Tim and I will have to face many exciting challenges. I can already see his face lighting up with happiness, and this is just the beginning.
But I can't help but worry. A journey to a magical city is always filled with surprises, and not all of them might be pleasant. We don't know what awaits us around every corner. There might be complex puzzles, dangerous situations, or magical creatures that could become obstacles. I'm afraid Tim might face challenges that could be too difficult for him. We need to be prepared for any outcome and help him deal with possible troubles.
I also feel a surge of anger, especially when I think about the potential difficulties. If anyone or anything tries to obstruct our journey, whether it's evil wizards or cunning traps, I'm ready to channel my anger and protect Tim. I won't tolerate anything standing in our way to reach our goal. We must stay strong and determined despite any obstacles that may come our way.
I can't ignore that this magical city isn't always perfect. While it seems enchanting, there might be strange or unpleasant things hidden within it. We could encounter magical creatures that are disgusting or dangerous. Labyrinths filled with webs or mysterious beings with unpleasant appearances might invoke my disgust. We need to be prepared to handle such unpleasantness and not let it distract us from our goal.
Despite all the concerns and worries, we're moving forward with great pleasure. Every new step reveals more wonders and amazing places. We meet friendly creatures, participate in magical games, and enjoy the beauty of the magical city. Seeing Tim open up and smile makes this entire journey especially meaningful and joyful.
I continue to be on guard, but I notice that my anxiety is gradually fading as we tackle the challenges. Tim is becoming more confident, and I'm starting to believe that we can handle any difficulties. We find solutions and deal with problems that arise along the way. This reduces my worries and helps me focus on supporting Tim further.
My anger hasn't disappeared, but now it's directed at protecting Tim from any potential threat. When we encounter difficulties or unpleasant situations, I remain resolute and ready to tackle any obstacle. In the end, our determination and bravery will help us overcome everything we encounter on our path.
In the end, our journey to the magical city becomes a true adventure. We manage to overcome all the challenges, enjoy the beauty, and learn many new things. Tim returns home full of impressions and happiness, and we, his emotions, are proud to have been part of this amazing journey. We've learned to handle our emotions and support each other in any situation, making our experience even more valuable and joyful.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our new exciting adventure. Today is going to be especially unusual because we're diving into a brand new and incredibly thrilling mode. Emotions Police Family Prison Run Escape. Just imagine, we're going to be running away from ourselves. Well, not exactly us, but our evil copies. Imagine what it's like to run from a version of me that's all gloomy and dark, or from anxiety who's 10 times more nervous than usual. It's going to be a real race for survival. But with your support, I'm sure we'll make it. So, get ready for a true emotional roller coaster. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single moment.
Oh no, 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 I'm already getting worried, Joy. Evil copies of ourselves? That's a real nightmare. What if they're faster than us? Stronger? What if they catch us? I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But I know that if we stick together and stay focused, we can do it. And your support is so important to us. So please stay with us, cheer us on, and cross your fingers for us. We're going to need all your positive vibes and good wishes.
Anxiety, I get it. It's totally spooky to think about our darker sides chasing us down. But hey, we've faced tough challenges before and always found a way out, right? I mean, remember that time we escaped from that creepy haunted house? Or when we navigated through the maze of nightmares? This is just another wild ride. We're not just running away. We're running toward victory with a dash of laughter and a whole lot of fun. And to all our amazing viewers out there, we need you on this journey with us. Keep your spirits high and your hearts full of courage. Together, we can conquer anything.
Oh no, 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 I'm already getting worried, Joy. Evil copies of ourselves? That's a real nightmare. What if they're faster than us? Stronger? What if they catch us? I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But I know that if we stick together and stay focused, we can do it. And your support is so important to us. So please stay with us, cheer us on, and cross your fingers for us. We're going to need all your positive vibes and good wishes.
Exactly, anxiety. And who knows, maybe by the end of this, we'll not only escape but come out stronger, knowing that even our darkest sides can't bring us down. So, gear up, everyone. It's going to be a fast-paced, heart-pounding adventure. Let's turn this prison run into a victory lap, and don't forget to hit that like button to give us that extra boost we need. Storytime, friends. Today, I'm going to tell you about our incredible adventure when we found ourselves inside the mind of a boy named Tom. Tom was no ordinary kid. Kind, thoughtful, but sadly, terribly unsure of himself. Imagine what it's like to constantly doubt every decision you make, to be afraid to take the first step because you fear making a mistake. Tom lived with that every single day. And one day, when we all suddenly moved from Tim's head into this new, completely unfamiliar one, we realized our task was to help this boy find himself, overcome his fears, and learn to believe in himself. It was a real challenge, but you know us. We're always ready for anything.
Oh, I remember how it was. We appeared in Tom's head at the worst possible moment. He was standing in front of the mirror, looking at his reflection and getting ready for an important presentation at school. Inside, his fears and doubts were swirling, and he was afraid of every word he was supposed to say. What if he forgot the text? What if his classmates started laughing? These questions flooded his mind, and you know what? I was completely shocked. I could feel how his anxiety was overwhelming me. I was terrified of doing something wrong that would only make things worse. But I knew that if I didn't do anything, the situation would spiral out of control, and Tom would just freeze in front of everyone.
Anxiety, you really made things worse back then. Tom was on the verge of a breakdown, and at that moment, I realized I couldn't just stand by. No way, that wasn't going to happen. I hate it when someone, even if it's Tom, lets their fears control them. I was burning with frustration. I felt the fire inside me ignite, and I decided to act. Tom needed to feel that fire, to sense the strength that could help him overcome any obstacle. I fueled his determination, made him feel like he could do anything, and no one would dare to doubt his abilities.
And I couldn't stand by when I noticed that Tom started worrying about how he looked. At first, it was just concern that his clothes weren't stylish enough, then that his hair was out of place, and then he started thinking his appearance would make others laugh at him. It drove me crazy! How could he be so focused on such trivial things? Tom needed to understand that it's not his appearance that defines his worth, but what's inside him. And I started quietly whispering to him that he needed to rise above these superficial things, that what really matters is what's in his heart and mind. It helped him relax and focus on more important things.
Once we all came together, the situation began to change. We worked together like a well-oiled machine, guiding Tom toward his goal. I reminded him of all his past successes, of the times when he overcame difficulties, and when his friends and family supported him. These memories were like a powerful surge of energy that filled Tom with joy and confidence. I saw his face light up with a smile, and a sparkle appear in his eyes. It was amazing.
And I finally decided to use my power not for harm, but for good. Instead of sowing panic, I began helping Tom to be more attentive to details. I nudged him to focus on the text, on pronouncing the words correctly, on his tone. This helped him avoid mistakes and prepare as best as he could. I had to overcome my own fears, but I knew I was doing it for his benefit.
When the moment of truth came and Tom walked onto that stage, I knew that all our hard work had paid off. He walked with such confidence that all his fears just disappeared. I made him feel the power within himself. I gave him the determination he needed, and he performed like a true hero. No one in the audience dared to doubt his abilities. All his doubts and fears were conquered, and he got a taste of victory.
And of course, I made sure that Tom looked his best. Before the presentation, he adjusted his tie, smoothed his hair. He felt confident, and it showed. While his appearance didn't define him completely, the confidence he drew from looking his best gave him an extra boost. It was a crucial moment, and I was proud to have helped him with that.
When the presentation ended and the room erupted in applause, we all felt an incredible sense of relief and joy inside Tom. This was our collective success, our victory. Not only did Tom successfully accomplish his task, but he also found the confidence that will support him throughout his life. And for us, it was yet another proof that when we work together, we can overcome any obstacle. We can help anyone if we act as one.
And I finally decided to use my power not for harm, but for good. Instead of sowing panic, I began helping Tom to be more attentive to details. I nudged him to focus on the text, on pronouncing the words correctly, on his tone. This helped him avoid mistakes and prepare as best as he could. I had to overcome my own fears, but I knew I was doing it for his benefit.
And I learned that even anger can be a driving force if used wisely. We helped Tom become stronger, and that was our shared achievement.
I understood that self-confidence begins with inner harmony. We helped Tom find that harmony, and now he can walk through life with confidence, knowing that his worth isn't defined by his appearance but by who he truly is.
That's how our story with Tom ended. We helped him, and he showed us how important it is to be there for those who need support. And you know what? This was one of our best missions. We proved to ourselves and to Tom that together we can do anything. And now we're ready for new adventures. It's time for a new story. Let's travel to a small town where a boy named Max lived. Max loved adventures, but he had one problem. He was very afraid of the dark. Every night when darkness fell, Max would hide under his blanket and try to fall asleep as quickly as possible. But one evening, in an especially dark night, Max heard a soft whisper outside his window. It was his old friend, a firefly, who had come to him with a very important mission. "Max," said the firefly, "the darkness isn't as scary as you think. There are many wonders in the dark that can only be seen at night. Come with me, and I'll show you the world in a new light." Max was a little scared at first, but then he remembered that he always wanted to know what was hidden in the night's darkness. He put on his jacket and followed the firefly. Together they went through the forest, where the trees looked magical in the moonlight, saw glowing flowers, and met other nocturnal creatures. From that night on, Max was no longer afraid of the dark because he understood that it, too, could be beautiful and amazing.
Guys, thanks for watching our story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like it, and click on the bell so that you don't miss new videos. And also, write in the comments what story you want to hear next. See you in the next issues.